Say Selenium Class 1 Introduction to Selenium. In this class, I am going to explain 3 topics. Total 11 topics in this chapter. Today we will discuss 3 topics. Introduction to Selenium. First topic, what is Selenium? What is Selenium? Next, history of the Selenium project. History of the Selenium project. Next, Selenium suite of tools. Selenium's tools suite. See, in this suite we have 4 tools. Selenium IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Next, Selenium Remote Control, RC, outdated. Next, successor of Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver. Next, last one, Selenium Grid. See, first topic in this chapter, what is Selenium? What is Selenium? See, Selenium is a suite of software tools. It is a suite of software tools to automate web browsers. See, Selenium is a suite of software tools to automate web browsers. See, in this sentence you can find 2 important concepts. One is suite of software tools, another is automate web browsers. Selenium is not a single tool. For example, other tools in this category means functional and regression test automation category. Other tools in this category, UFT, formerly QTP, UFT, RFT, Silk test, test complete, test partner, etc. All are single tools only. But Selenium is not a single tool, suite of tools, or you can say set of tools to automate web browsers. Okay, I think all of you understand this concept, suite of software tools. Selenium is not a single tool, suite of software tools. But we no need to use all tools for any project. Most of the Selenium testers use 1 or 2 tools for their projects. 1 or 2 tools. You can focus on 1 or 2 tools, not all tools. Okay, I will explain later. Automate web browsers means it is only for automating web-based applications, browser-based applications, not for automating desktop applications or Windows-based client-server applications. For example, UFT, Unified Functional Testing, formerly QTP. UFT can automate desktop applications as well as web applications, but Selenium supports only web applications. It doesn't support Windows-based applications, Windows-based client-server applications. Okay. Next, Selenium suite. It is an open source. See, it is an open source. It is an open source suite of tools mainly used for functional and regression test automation. Mainly used for functional and regression test automation. See, other tools in this category, functional and regression test category, UFT, RFT, Rational Functional Tester from IBM, UFT from HP, Silk Test from Micro Focus, next Test Complete, Test Partner, etc. See, UFT tool, why I am comparing UFT and Selenium are market competitors in this area of testing. UFT is vendor tool. Vendor is HP. License is required in order to use and get technical support. But Selenium is open source. Source code available on net. Anybody can download and use. Freeware. Okay. Srivalli, can you tell me something about Selenium? If you don't know, no problem. Srivalli, something about Selenium. Or Sri Lakshmi. Okay,
can you hear me?
Tell me, Srivalli. Tell me something about Selenium.
Yeah, it is a suite of software tools.
Okay, that already I covered. Any other points?
Any other points? Actually, I don't have much knowledge.
Cool. Sri Lakshmi, can you tell me something about Selenium other than these 2 points?
Yeah, the same things. It's an automation tool, and it's a open source. Anyone can use it, and it supports some of the technology like Java.
Supports some of the technologies. Okay. Confusion. Okay, no problem. Saujanya, can you tell me something about Selenium other than these 2 points? Saujanya. Rest of all put mute. Samir Arora.
Sir.
Continue, Saujanya. Be sharp. Tell me something about Selenium.
Yeah, it is basically a Java-based application. I mean, we can use Java. Java is the main source, so.
Okay. Put mute. See. Selenium supports various operating environments to conduct functional and regression test automation. To conduct functional and regression testing. Selenium supports various operating environments. Microsoft Windows, next Linux, next Macintosh, Mac, etc. Whereas UFT, formerly QTP, supports only Microsoft Windows operating environment only. What is the operating system? What is the supporting of operating system? Suppose our application under test deployed on Windows, you can use Selenium. Suppose our application deployed on Linux environment, you can use Selenium. Suppose our application on Macintosh, you can use Selenium. For example, if it is UFT, our application deployed on Linux, you can't use UFT. UFT supports Microsoft Windows operating environment only, but Selenium supports various operating systems, various operating environments, Windows, Linux, Mac, Apple OS, etc. Next, Selenium supports various browser environments. See, Selenium supports, all of you
Sir?
put mute.
Is it true the Selenium is an add-on tool we can on the browser we can directly download that one?
That I will explain. See, all are not like that. Only Selenium IDE is plugin of my Mozilla Firefox. Okay, but Selenium WebDriver is different. That I will explain. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. See, that we will discuss later. That is Selenium IDE only add-on of Mozilla Firefox. But remaining remaining tools, not like that. See, Selenium supports various browsers. Say, if you create test cases using Mozilla Firefox, want to execute in another browsers, yes, you can execute. Test case same. If it is Mozilla or Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Safari or Opera, test case same. You can execute on various browsers, but you need to use browser driver. Suppose if you want to execute test cases using Internet Explorer, you need to use IE browser driver. If it is Chrome, Google Chrome browser driver, Opera driver. Driver only varies from one browser to another. Test case same. See, Selenium supports various browsers. Mozilla Firefox, next Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, next Safari, next Opera, etc. See, first three only industry leading browsers: Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, IE. Okay. And here one note: Selenium supports various browsers, okay, but Selenium IDE, one of the tool in Selenium suite, doesn't support all browsers, only Mozilla Firefox. Just a minute. Note: Selenium IDE, Integrated Development Environment, supports Mozilla Firefox only. Next, Selenium RC outdated, but Selenium RC supports Mozilla Firefox, IE, Google Chrome, etc. Next, Selenium WebDriver supports various browsers. Selenium Grid is not for test design and test design. Selenium Grid only for test execution. Okay, now Vijaya, this point, Selenium supports various browsers except Selenium IDE tool in this suite. Okay, now this point.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
If you have any queries, ask me. See, Selenium supports. Selenium supports various programming languages, various programming environments to write programs, means test scripts. See, Selenium supports various programming environments. Selenium supports various programming environments to write programs. Test scripts. See, in our scenario, program means test script. Selenium supports. Can you tell me, Pranita, Selenium supporting languages for writing test cases or programs? Pranita. Java. Yes.
I know only Java. Sir.
Okay, cool. Java. PJ, what is that? Pardon? Rahman? Srivalli, tell me, Srivalli.
Yeah.
Sri Lakshmi, can you tell me? Selenium supports Java.
It supports VB script.
It doesn't support VB script.
Only JavaScript.
No JavaScript.
No, I think Java.
Java.
C Sharp.
C Sharp.net.
Yeah, C Sharp, sir.
Yeah. Good.
Plus.
Pardon?
C++.
No.
C.
No.
Okay.
Yes, Krishna Chaitanya, Python, Ruby, PHP. Okay. C. Java. C Sharp. Next. Python. Perl. Ruby. And hypertext preprocessor. PHP. Say, Selenium supports various programming environments. These 6 languages, Java, C Sharp, Python, Perl, Ruby and PHP. Whereas UFT, formerly QTP, supports only VB script. Okay, here most of the Selenium testers using Java. Why Java? That I will explain in Java for Selenium chapter. Nearly, according to one market survey, nearly 76% Selenium testers using Java. In our training program also, we will discuss Java. Not only Java, you can use C Sharp, Python, Perl, Ruby or PHP, but most of the Selenium testers using Java. See, you can use any one of these languages. Any one, not all. Okay? See, this is about Selenium. Any queries, Samir? Nearly 5 points we discussed. Selenium is a suite of software tools. Next, it is open source suite mainly used for functional and regression testing. It supports various operating environments, supports various browsers, supports various programming environments to write programs. Any queries in this topic? Anybody? Muhammad Rahman?
I'm fine, sir. I got it.
Okay, cool. 5 points in this.
That suite of tools means what are the suite of software tools means what are the software tools comes in this?
Already I told. That is third topic. Why you are asking this question?
Okay.
Observe the selected one. That is third topic.
Okay.
See, in this topic we are not discussing suite of tools. Just remember suite. What are the tools that we will discuss later in this third topic? Okay, na?
Okay.
See. Preeti Joshi, any queries? Shall we move to next topic?
Sir, we will get those notes later on, right?
Yes, yes, you can get
Okay.
notes.
Thank you.
You no need to write any notes. Good question. You no need to you no need to write any notes. Just listen and ask questions. Answer my questions. Just interact properly. You no need to write any notes. I will send class notes as well as recorded session after the class. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome. See, second topic. History of the Selenium project. History of the Selenium project. History of the Selenium project. See, Selenium first came to life in 2004. See, Selenium, brief history, first came to life in 2004. Next major update, in 2006, Selenium WebDriver was launched at Google. In 2006, Selenium WebDriver, important tool, powerful tool in Selenium suite. Selenium WebDriver was launched. Selenium WebDriver was launched at Google. Next, in 2008, whole Selenium team decided to merge Selenium WebDriver with Selenium RC in order to form more powerful tool, Selenium 2.0. See, in 2008, the whole Selenium team decided to merge Selenium WebDriver with RC, Selenium Remote Control. Selenium RC in order to form more powerful tool, Selenium 2. Say Selenium 1, Selenium 2. Selenium 1. In Selenium 1, 3 tools. Selenium IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Next, Selenium RC, Remote Control. And Selenium Grid. This is Selenium 1. Next, Selenium 2. Now we are using Selenium 2. See, Selenium WebDriver merged with Selenium 1. Selenium WebDriver. This is Selenium 2. Say Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, purpose almost all same. The successor of Selenium RC is Selenium WebDriver. in order to overcome some limitations of Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver was launched. Then why still they are carrying Selenium RC? If we have Selenium WebDriver, no need to have Selenium RC. Then why still Selenium RC available in Selenium 2? Only for maintenance projects. Only for maintenance projects. For new projects, if we have Selenium WebDriver, if we choose Selenium WebDriver, no need to use Selenium RC. See, but in Selenium 2 suite also Selenium RC available, but only for maintenance projects. Got this points, Srivalli?
Yes.
See, this is a brief history of Selenium project. See, Selenium license that I will explain tomorrow. Just a brief history. Next, come to important topic in this chapter. Selenium suite of tools. Already Krishna Chaitanya asked. Selenium's tools suite. Tell me, Krishna Chaitanya, forget about Selenium 1. Now Selenium 2 is latest one. What are the 4 tools in Selenium tool? Selenium 2, Selenium IDE,
RC, WebDriver, and Selenium Grid.
Okay. First I am taking Selenium IDE, Integrated Development Environment. It has menus. If you want to generate test case, you can use recording feature. If you want to execute, you can use a run feature, playback. It has menus. Selenium IDE. Actually, it is not an independent tool like UFT. It is Firefox plugin. See, it is a Firefox browser plugin. It is a Firefox browser plugin used to create and execute test cases. Used to create and execute test cases. It is a Firefox plugin. Means on Firefox only you can install Selenium IDE. For example, UFT, independent tool. You can install UFT independently. With no other software support, UFT can work. RFT, independent tool. But Selenium IDE is a plugin. Selenium IDE is a Firefox browser plugin. On Firefox only you can install Selenium IDE. See, you can get one more point. It is Firefox. Since it is Firefox plugin, it doesn't support other browsers. Google Chrome, that one, Internet Explorer, etc. browsers. It is a Firefox plugin. Sri Lakshmi, any other points regarding this Selenium IDE?
I think here you can do record and play only.
Record and play only. See, use it to create and execute test cases. Record and play, record and playback only. Any other? Okay. See. Say, I will give brief introduction. Anyhow, in Selenium IDE chapter, I will discuss once again I will discuss theory as well as practical concepts. See, Selenium IDE features. Next, drawbacks of Selenium IDE. These 2 points I will explain in this chapter. In Selenium IDE chapter, we will discuss theory as well as practical examples. Okay. Say, it is used to create test cases. See, features. Create test cases, test suites, means test batches. See, for creating test cases, you can use a recording feature, or if you know the syntax, you can type test steps. If you know the syntax, you can type test steps. Otherwise, you can use recording feature. See, we can record test cases or type test steps using element locators. What is element locator? We will discuss later. And Selenium IDE commands, Selenium commands. See, element locator for recognizing object, Selenium command for performing operation on that element. First recognizing object and performing operation on that object. Okay, create test cases. We can use recording feature or you can type test steps. Next, execute test cases one by one or test suites. Next, debug test cases. See, debugging means locating and isolating errors through step-by-step execution. Next, enhance test cases. See, enhancing means adding comments, inserting verification points, etc. See, create test cases, execute test cases, debug test cases, enhance test cases. Next, edit test cases. You can edit existing test cases. Edit test cases. Next, export test cases using any supported format. Export test cases using any supported formats. For example, Java format, next Ruby format, etc. See, exporting facility is there, but this feature is not working properly. Anyhow, Selenium IDE is not useful tool. Nowadays, most of the Selenium developers, most of the companies also using Selenium WebDriver. Okay, just we will learn Selenium IDE in real time, limited use or no use. See, export test cases to other formats, other supporting formats. You can use Java, Ruby, etc. Next, Selenium test case default format is HTML. See, Selenium IDE test case default format is HTML. Okay, this is a brief introduction about Selenium IDE. I will explain drawbacks also. Before that, tell me, Rahman, what is Selenium IDE? What is the use of, otherwise, what is the purpose of Selenium IDE?
Selenium IDE is one of the suite tools of Selenium suite of tools.
One of the tool of Selenium suite.
Firefox browser.
Yeah.
Its plugin only support Firefox browser, but it doesn't support other browsers such as.
First of all, it is not an independent tool. On Firefox browser only we can install and use. Okay.
Right.
Next.
It doesn't support other browsers such as Google Chrome and IE.
Okay.
And it executes test cases.
It is used to create test cases and test suites. A set of test cases. Next.
It also helps us to debug test cases. This is step by step execute test cases.
Yes, by executing step by step, you can debug test cases.
It also supports enhanced test cases.
Enhanced test cases. By adding comments, by inserting verification points, we can enhance. Yeah. Continue.
Also, it helps us to edit test cases. It's support export test cases using any supporting formats such as Java.
Other supporting formats, Java, Ruby, Python, etc. But this feature is not working properly, but facility is there. Okay.
Also, Selenium IDE default format is HTML.
Okay, good. Good. Next, drawbacks. Drawbacks. Vijaya, contribute. What are the drawbacks? Just guess drawbacks of Selenium IDE. Drawbacks. Pardon?
I don't have any idea about that. I don't have any idea about that.
Okay, cool. No problem. Preeti, can you guess some drawbacks of Selenium IDE? Say, as per this first point, you can explain one drawback.
Yeah, programming knowledge is required.
See, what is this point? It is a Firefox browser plugin. Based on that, you tell me one drawback. It supports Mozilla Firefox. Mozilla Firefox browser only. Doesn't support other browsers. This is one drawback. Next, continue. Continue, Srivalli. Okay. Otherwise, Preeti Joshi. Preeti.
Yeah, I don't know, sir. Sorry.
Okay. Krishna Chaitanya.
As it does not use programming languages, so for complex projects we cannot use this Selenium IDE.
Good. It doesn't support programming logic or programming features to enhance test cases. See, it doesn't support programming languages, but WebDriver, see, already we discussed Selenium supports Java, Perl, Python, Ruby. Those supporting environments for Selenium RC and Selenium WebDriver, but Selenium IDE doesn't support programming. Using element locators and Selenium IDE commands, or you can say Selinus commands, You can create and execute test cases, but no programming. You cannot use conditional statements, loop statements, and other programming features like variables, constants, data types, functions, methods, etc. It doesn't support. Next, it doesn't support data-driven testing. See, for data-driven testing, resource required. Test data file is resource. If we use Selenium WebDriver, WebDriver supports data-driven testing, but Selenium IDE doesn't support data-driven testing. See, it is not suitable. It is not suitable for complex test case design. Why? No programming support. Only Selenium commands, Selenium IDE commands. So not suitable for complex test case design. Only for simple test case design. Tushar, any other points? Tushar, Amin?
Actually, no.
Okay, cool. No problem. No problem. Drawbacks of Selenium. Sri Lakshmi.
Yeah, I don't have any idea.
Okay.
So.
Say in Selenium IDE, no object repository concept. If it is UFT has object repository. Using object repository, you can maintain objects in a centralized location. But in Selenium IDE, no object repository. So, no centralized maintenance. No centralized maintenance of objects, or you can say elements. Objects. No centralized maintenance of objects. Vijaya, can you give one or two examples for web objects? In functional testing, we use object concept. Give one or two examples.
I know.
Pardon?
I know the objects in JDE because I know the objects in JDE. That is how, like, when we do any kind of develop any kind of program, so usually we create the object. So
give some examples some examples in objects. Objects, software objects in web applications. Okay. Preeti Joshi, software objects examples in web environment.
Radio button.
Yes, radio button, edit box, link, image, list box, check box, drop down box, check box, etc. Okay. See, these are the important drawbacks of Selenium IDE. Just Tushar, list out. Nearly we discussed 5 disadvantages or drawbacks of Selenium IDE. What are the drawbacks?
One thing is it's works only on Firefox browser.
Yes, works only on Firefox browser. It is Firefox plugin. It doesn't support other browsers. Next.
It doesn't support the programming logic and features. So in that way, we cannot enhance the test cases.
we cannot use programming features for enhancing test cases. Next.
It doesn't support the data-driven testing.
Yes.
And also, it's not suitable for complex test case design.
Next.
And it doesn't have object repositories, so
no centralized maintenance of objects or elements. It doesn't have object repository. So no centralized maintenance of objects. Okay, shall we move to next topic, Saujanya? Okay, now Selenium IDE.
Yes, sir.
See. Next, Selenium RC. This is outdated. See, I will explain. Selenium WebDriver. Selenium, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, both are same in purpose. But Selenium WebDriver is more powerful than Selenium RC. You no need to learn Selenium RC, it is outdated. Successor of Selenium RC is Selenium WebDriver. But Selenium RC supports various programming languages for enhancing test cases. Selenium RC supports various operating environments. Next, Selenium RC supports various browsers. See, remember 3 points. Selenium RC supports various programming languages and supports various browsers and supports various operating environments. But it is outdated tool. The successor of Selenium RC is Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver. Say, what is Selenium WebDriver? It is a programming interface. It is a programming interface to create and execute test cases. It is a programming interface. Say, it doesn't have IDE. It doesn't have IDE. No menus. For each and everything we need to write the code. For example, UFT, formerly QTP. UFT has IDE as well as programming interface. Just a minute. UFT, it has IDE as well as programming interface. You can use IDE and programming interface for creating test cases. See, this is UFT tool. Just observe. Just a minute. Observe. Suppose if you want to create any test case, you can use tool features. IDE. See, it has menus. IDE. You can use tool features. Otherwise, you can type. This is editor. UFT tool editor. You can type test cases. If you know the syntax, you can type test cases. See, UFT, formerly QTP, it has IDE as well as programming interface. This is tool editor. This white color area is tool editor. You can generate test cases using tool features or you can type test cases. It has IDE as well as programming interface. But Selenium WebDriver doesn't have IDE. Only programming interface. Only editor. You can type test steps and execute. Next, compare to Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE has IDE but no programming interface. Getting this point, Rahman, try to understand. Suppose
yes, sir.
Selenium IDE has IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. Menus and menu items available, you can use that features. But doesn't have programming interface. Okay. Next, Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver has programming interface. Programming interface. But Srivalli, but doesn't have IDE. No menus and no menu items. Next, UFT, formerly QTP. QTP has both IDE as well as a programming interface. Okay na Srivalli? This concept?
Yeah. Yes.
See, basically Selenium WebDriver is a programming interface. It doesn't have any IDE, no menus, no menu items. Okay, for each and everything you need to write the code. Here two important concepts in functional test automation. First one is recognizing the object. Second one is performing operation on that object. Suppose one link is there, recognizing the link is object identification. Next, performing operation, click link. Clicking on link is operation. Suppose edit box is object, recognize edit box, then enter some value into edit box. Entering some value into edit box is operation. See, for recognizing objects as well as performing operations on objects, we use programmatic steps only in WebDriver. No IDE. Okay. Next, as usual, tell me, Samir Arora, features of Selenium WebDriver. Have any idea what is Selenium WebDriver? Syed Alam, can you tell me one or two features of... Okay, Samir. Okay. Tell me one or two features of Selenium WebDriver, Syed Alam.
Yes, sir. It is a programming interface to create and execute test cases.
Yes, it is a programming interface to create and execute test cases. Okay.
And Selenium WebDriver has programming interface, but doesn't have any IDE.
Okay.
So there is no menus and everything.
Tell me a new point. Okay. Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver supports Java.
Okay.
But Selenium IDE doesn't support any programming language. Java, next C#, next Perl, next Python,
yeah.
Next Ruby, or you can use PHP. Selenium WebDriver supports various programming languages, various programming environments, to write test cases, to write programs. Next, using element. Element means object. Object. Element locators. Using element locators. For example, edit box is element. Locator is ID. ID or name. Suppose link is element. Selenium WebDriver supports 8 element locators that we will discuss later. Anyhow, it is brief introduction about Selenium WebDriver. Suppose link is element, link text is element locator, link text value is Gmail, that is value. Suppose man is object, name or surname or height or weight or color, all are properties or locators. Locators are, you can say, properties. Properties. It describes the object. It is an attribute of the object. Property. It is an attribute of the object. It describes the object. Suppose man is object or element. Properties. Name. Name is one property. Surname, height, weight, width, color, etc. See, name. Name Srivalli. Srivalli is a value. Suppose name is property, value is Samir. Samir is value. Okay. Using element or object locators. Locator or property. Using element locators and WebDriver methods. Using element locators and WebDriver methods, we can create and execute test cases. Okay, now this point, Vijaya, using element locators and WebDriver methods, we can create and execute test cases. Okay, now?
Yeah.
Next, we already discussed. WebDriver supports various browsers. Not discussed. Okay. Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver supports various browsers. To create and execute tests. To create and execute test cases. You can say test case or test script or test. Synonyms. See, test or test case or test script. But in UFT, no test case term, test or test script. But in Selenium, official term is test case. You can use other terms, test script or test. Okay. See, using Selenium WebDriver, we can conduct cross-browser testing. Cross-browser testing. I've already told. Test case is same. No difference in creating test cases. If it is Firefox browser or IE browser or Chrome browser, any browser, test cases same. See, element locator same, WebDriver methods same. Element locators for recognizing elements, WebDriver methods for performing operations on elements. Element locator same, WebDriver methods same. Then what is the difference? What is the difference, Muhammad Rahman? Already I told. Element locator same, WebDriver method same, means test case same. Final conclusion, test cases are same. If it is Chrome browser, IE browser, Mozilla Firefox browser, Safari, Opera, then what is the difference? How to execute test cases across multiple browsers?
Is it cross browser testing?
Browser testing, okay. Okay. Sri Lakshmi, can you tell me? Suppose I created some test cases using Mozilla Firefox browser. I want to execute these test cases using Google Chrome browser or IE browser or Safari browser or Opera browser. How to execute?
I think the same process how you are executing in the Firefox.
Same, but in the first topic, I think. First topic, I told one concept. What is that one? Browser driver.
Just we need to install the browser driver.
No need to install. You can set path. Download browser driver and set path of the driver enough. No need to install browser drivers. Okay. See, browser drivers. Driver varies from one browser to another. One browser to another. Browser driver varies from one browser to another. Test case same. Okay na, Srivalli, any confusion?
No.
Here default driver is Mozilla Firefox. Default driver. You no need to download and set path for Mozilla Firefox driver. You can directly create browser driver. You can directly create. If it is any other browser, Chrome or Mozilla, or IE, you need to download browser driver and set the path that we will discuss in WebDriver practical chapters. See, supports various programming environments. Next, various browser environments. Next, various operating environments. See, Selenium WebDriver supports various operating environments. For example, Microsoft Windows, next Linux, next Mac, etc. Whereas UFT, formerly QTP, UFT supports only Microsoft Windows operating environment. Sri Lakshmi, anything else? Tell me 1 or 2 points about Selenium WebDriver. Covered maximum na. Operating environment, programming environment, browser environment. Next, how to create test cases and how to execute test cases. Next, drawbacks. See, even though Selenium WebDriver is powerful tool, advanced tool, it has some drawbacks also. Drawbacks of Selenium WebDriver. Can you tell me, Preeti, 1 or 2 drawbacks of Selenium WebDriver? Just guess.
Programming knowledge is needed.
Programming knowledge is required. Okay.
And
programming knowledge is required. Anything else?
It is open source, so there is no proper help.
Okay, that is that disadvantage for entire suite. Not only for WebDriver. That we will discuss in another topic. Advantage of Selenium, drawbacks of Selenium suite. Say one of the important drawback, it doesn't generate detailed test reports. It doesn't generate detailed test reports, only summary. It generates summary only. For example, EFT tool generates detailed test reports. EFT has result window feature. For every test iteration means cycle of execution. One test is there. If you execute 10 times, 10 iterations, 10 test results. For every test iteration, EFT provides test result. But Selenium provides summary only, pass or fail like. It doesn't generate detailed test reports. Next, same as like Selenium IDE, no centralized maintenance of objects. No centralized maintenance of objects, or you can say elements. Okay, now these are the drawbacks. Tushar, tell me, what are the important features of Selenium WebDriver? We discussed 4 or 5 features. Quick. Important features of Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver is a programming interface. Continue.
Yeah, it's a programming interface, but it does not have IDE. And it supports the Java, C#, Perl, Python, Ruby, those programming languages. And also, we can create the test cases using element locators and also WebDriver methods. And support various browsers to create test cases. And also
various operating environments.
Yeah, support various operating environments.
Good.
Windows, Linux.
Okay, Windows, Linux, Macintosh, etc. Okay, Sri Lakshmi, drawbacks of Selenium WebDriver.
It doesn't generate any like
detailed test reports.
Yeah, detailed test report and no centralized maintenance of the elements.
No centralized maintenance of elements. Good, good. Okay. One final conclusion. This is a suggestion or recommendation. See, focus on, in this introduction to Selenium chapter, we discussed 3 topics. What is Selenium, history of the Selenium project, and Selenium suite of tools. One more tool is there. After that, I will provide this suggestion. Last one, Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid. Say Selenium Grid. It is not mandatory to use. First of all, it doesn't support creating test cases. It is not for test case design. Selenium Grid is not for test case design. It is only for test execution. It is only for test execution. Here you can ask one question. Suppose if it is Selenium IDE or Selenium RC or Selenium WebDriver, they support execution also. Apart from test case design, they support execution also. Then why we need to use Selenium Grid? Selenium Grid only for test execution, not for test design. Okay. It supports parallel test execution. Parallel test execution. See, Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid is used to execute tests across multiple browsers, next operating environments, next and machines, means computers. See, Selenium Grid is used to execute tests across multiple browsers, operating environments and machines in parallel. Say parallel test execution so that we can reduce the time. Suppose I have 100 test cases. I want to execute these test cases using Google Chrome browser, IE browser, Mozilla browser. You can take 2 or 3 missions, execute all 100 test cases using IE browser in first mission, using Chrome browser in second mission, using another Mozilla browser in third mission. See, using Selenium Grid, we can execute test cases in parallel across multiple browsers, operating environments and machines in parallel. Okay, now Vijaya, did you understand this concept?
Yes, I did.
First of all, Selenium Grid doesn't support test case design, isn't it? It is only for test execution. Yes. Next, Selenium 2 supports Selenium Grid 2. Grid supports Selenium RC tests as well as Selenium WebDriver tests. Say Selenium Grid 1 version supports only Selenium RC, but Selenium Grid 2 supports Selenium RC or Selenium WebDriver test cases. Suppose I created 100 test cases using Selenium WebDriver. I can execute all 100 test cases in parallel using Selenium Grid. Or Selenium RC test cases, you can use Selenium Grid for parallel test execution. But here you can find one limit. We cannot execute Selenium IDE test cases using Selenium Grid. Got this point, Srivalli? Pranati, did you understand this concept?
Yes, sir.
We can execute Selenium RC test cases or Selenium WebDriver test cases using in parallel using Selenium Grid, but not Selenium IDE test cases. See, simple one. Selenium Grid doesn't support test case design. It is only for test execution. execution in parallel. Parallel, see, primary purpose of Selenium Grid is parallel test execution using multiple browsers, operating environments and machines. You can conduct parallel test execution. Okay. See, before closing the session, one suggestion. Say we have 4 Selenium tools and 6 supporting languages. You can use any one, but my recommendation is, suggestion is, focus on 3 important things. First one, Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver. Next, Java programming. Java programming. Next, framework required, testing framework. You can use either that I will explain later. Just a brief idea. You can use either JUnit or TestNG, but TestNG is more powerful than JUnit. Both are same in purpose. You can use either JUnit or TestNG. TestNG is more powerful than JUnit. In our training program, we will discuss TestNG framework. If you're familiar with TestNG framework, definitely you can cope up with JUnit or any other frameworks. See, TestNG framework. You focus on these 3 concepts. What is the purpose of Selenium WebDriver? To create and to create and execute also, to create test cases using element locators and WebDriver methods. Technical term is method, business term is operation. Next, to enhance test cases, say using programming features, you can enhance test cases. You can insert verification points, add comments, parameterization, synchronization if required. Next, TestNG framework to group test cases. Next, and generate to group test cases, execute test batches, and generate detailed test reports. Detailed test reports. See, you focus these 3 concepts. We will continue tomorrow. Last question for that is Salim. Syed Alam, tell me, focus on 3 important things: Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Java programming, and TestNG framework. Just tell me the purpose. Selenium WebDriver for
Selenium WebDriver to create test cases using element locator and WebDriver methods. You can use Java programming to enhance test cases. And the third one was TestNG framework for group test cases, execute cases, batch.
Batch testing. Batch testing.
Yeah,
executing series
batch
of
testing. Detailed test reports.
Okay.
And this is more powerful than the
JUnit.
JUnit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we will continue. Any queries? Any queries?
Yeah, I have one, but after when you end the session, I have
okay. After the session, we will discuss. Srivalli, any queries? Pranati, Pranita.
No, sir. It's okay.
Joshi, sorry, what is that one? Pranati, Joshi. What is your name? I forgot.
Preeti.
Preeti, tell me any queries regarding these three topics. What is Selenium, history of the Selenium project, and Selenium suite of tools?
I'm good, sir.
Okay, cool. Rahman.
Yes, sir. I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. We will meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you.